we are gathered here and online to practice together. And this time, the practice that I intend to focus throughout the week is sitting posture, the physical posture. To check the physical posture and observe the mind, or to observe the mind through the physical posture. In the Satipatthana Sutta, with regard to idiya or posture, it simply says to keep the physical body upright. Upright. But what does it mean, upright? And how do we get it upright? How to keep our body upright? What is the relationship between the upright body and the mind? What is the relationship between the desire to change the posture very often and the mind? So what is the relation? So we will be exploring those things in practice. That means as you start your sitting each session, you're going to make your own determination, your own attitude. I'm going to sit for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour and a half. It's all up to you. But during that time, please do not intentionally move. Even mindfully, do not move. Do not move. We would like to see, the mind being conditioned by physical discomfort. Sometimes it's not exactly by physical discomfort. It is by psychological habit. So we are going to observe them. So this time the practice is very simple. Very simple. You're going to find a lot of impatience in you. A lot of impatience. A lot of frustration. That will be the opportunity to work on. When you sit from tomorrow onward, I'm going to ask you to check your posture every 3 or 4 minutes. Don't wait until 5 minutes. 3 or 4 minutes. Okay? Check in your mind, check your posture. If you find your posture having moved slightly, maybe slumping slightly forward, or maybe tense, physically you're tense, or maybe, your feet, some part of your body is tense. What you're going to do is do not return to the original posture straight away. You're going to observe what has changed, how much has changed. If the body has slumped forward, how much has slumped forward? It has slumped forward. Maybe a few centimeters. You're going to observe that. See how the posture has changed, number one. Number two, before the change of the posture, try to revisit the state of the mind, where the mind was, on which object the mind was. If the mind was subconsciously irritated by the physical discomfort, okay, would meet. We say, if there is that kind of feeling, you're going to observe that. We will see what happened. We will see what's the link between the change in the physical posture and the state of the mind. You observe the desire, usually observe the desire to change, and you change. In this retreat, I encourage you not to do that. Encourage you not to do that. Not to move your posture. So you do your own determination, your own time span. Today I'm going to start with 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I'm going to sit straight. That means you're going to be checking your posture 8 to 10 times during that time. You check your posture and then come back to your main meditation. It can be rising and falling. It can be anything. You are free to work on any meditation. And this time, something that I bring to you is strict posture. Trying to get that. When I repeat again, when you discover your posture has slumped a little bit like this, do not return to the original position straight away. Instead, okay, look at the position, that the new position that you are in. Okay, how it has changed. And then look at the state of the mind before that, where your mind was. Okay, where your mind was. And this is a very simple practice, but it's going to advance your existing practice many times. Sarah Udajana has just talked about awareness of awareness. And this will strengthen that one. I'm using two words, awareness and mindfulness, in my own way. Awareness is when you're aware of the pain, when you're aware of sound, when you're aware of your thought. Mindfulness is when you're aware, when you become mindful of that awareness. Okay, that observing mind and the object. Okay, the mind is observing that. It's almost like a big picture. Okay, a big picture. Awareness is when you only see one point, one experience. But mindfulness or sati is when you actually see a big picture, how the mind is working, a big picture, almost a process. Almost a process. But don't worry about that. Just work on this posture. Just work on this posture. You will discover your habits. You will discover anything that is that needs working on. You're going to see that. You're going to see that. It's a very simple technique that I've been doing this for the last 2 years. And I'd like to share this with you. By the time you get an upright, natural posture, Okay, you can move, but it wouldn't move. At that moment, you will see that your mind is quite focused, undisturbed. That means when you keep changing your posture, your mind is being disturbed, being disturbed. So um, that those disturbances, they are called kilek. Kilek, they disturb peace of mind, peace of mind. So a very simple practice is going to take some effort. It's going to take a lot of patience, a lot of patience. It's going to take a lot of um, observation of the link between the mind and the body, especially the posture and the mind. The posture and the mind. Some people will observe the physical body and then the mind. Some people will observe the mind first and the physical body. That's okay. It depends on individuals. There's nothing right and wrong. Some people, they are strong in observing physical body. Some people, they are strong. They are good at observing the mind. That's okay. That's okay. You will come together at some point. This is to say, whenever we move our posture consciously or subconsciously, there is an element of restlessness, an element of restlessness. So I hope, you know, we can catch that restlessness by simply observing our posture. Every 3 or 4 minutes, just observe in your mind how you're sitting. You will see it. But sometimes you have anxiety, whether it has changed or not. Okay, then you simply observe that anxiety. Right now, okay, you have been practicing for many years with many teachers. You know how to observe the mind. But the relationship between the posture and the mind, this is a final point, a very fine point. If you get this right, you will have no problem with any practice. Later, you extend that into daily life, but first, trying to get that in the sitting session. If you see your posture having changed, unchanged, or tense in any position, you may have some anxiety, um, some tension, and we have to go through them. If you want to get rid of them, that's atta. If you want to have them, that's atta. You know, to hold on to them is atta. But to by any means to try to get rid of them is atta. Is a personalizing tendency. That tendency we observe from both extremes. From both extremes. So I'd like to conclude that the main practice for this retreat is working on posture. Even if you sit on a chair, make sure that you don't move. Okay. At the beginning, you can choose your best posture. Choose the best one, the most comfortable. And then once you set it out, don't move. It's not going to be a day long. It's going to be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, like that. You will find that tension and movement, they are the work of the mind. You will discover that. But don't take my word for sure, okay? You have to experience it yourself. Okay, any question? Okay.
อาจารย์คะจริงๆแล้วไม่ใช่ question ค่ะ but it's just would like พระอาจารย์ to say it again about awareness
And mindfulness.
and mindfulness. Thank you.
You don't have to worry about this. by observing this posture and its relationship to the mind. By the end of the training, you will get some grab. So you will get some hang of it. You know, for now, if I explain you again, it will be theoretical.
Thank you.
Don't even worry about that. Just forget about it and go to bed today.
You're talking only about sitting, about walking and other activities.
Same. Walking, you have your own posture when you walk. When you walk, you imagine in your mind the walking posture. The walking, okay. Sometimes something causes you to stop subconsciously. So sometimes something attracts your attention, like that. So what you're going to do is to observe mainly the movement of the feet. Okay, it is supposed the feet are supposed to go to walk regularly. But anything becomes irregular, you check it mind. You check your mind. But for some people, it's easier in walking. Some people, it's easier in sitting. So you discover yours. So I really wants to ask a question.
After the posture change, and then we revisit what the state of mind is, and then can we move back to the original?
Yes.
Okay.
Only after you have examined, okay, why your physical body has changed. That understanding, picharana, that is observation, is very important. Observation, the link between the mind and the body. In other words, we're examining the cause.
If we revisit, we will see. If suppose we don't see, we don't see anything. Can we? What should we do?
You are very experienced already. Okay. When you sit, if I have time, I come and sit with you. I'll be reminding you from time to time to check your posture. If not tomorrow morning, maybe tomorrow afternoon. I have a little bit fever, so I don't want to bring it from vaccine. So the rest you don't need instruction. This is only to give you a framework or a term of reference. A term of reference. Okay. Term of reference which you can use to observe the mind. If you do this, one thing that for sure is that you will not get stuck in concentration. In one object, staying with one object, there's awareness, not mindfulness, not sati. It's samadhi.
How about eating time?
Yes.
Eating time. Can
Eating
you?
time, we can do that tomorrow. I talk about that tomorrow.
Okay.
It might be too much. Yeah, it might be too much. Even in your own place, in your own room, you can practice. Okay, I'm going to sit for 10 minutes in a on a chair, maybe on a couch, maybe uh, on the bed, and trying to see the desire to move to make yourself more comfortable. Those little moments, they add up and they make your mindfulness stronger. Okay. If you have no question, we can stop here. It's very short instruction today, less than 30 minutes. And I hope the practice is also a lot easier. Even if you practice mudita, if you practice satipatthana, if you practice anything, if you add this aspect to your practice, you're going to find some um, solid improvement. Solid improvement. Okay.